Alright everybody, this is Spray Paint Art by Robert Stevens, and today we're going to do a mountain landscape with some middle ground, mountains and hills through here, bushes and shrubbery, and probably a water foreground, maybe a waterfall in there somewhere. So, sorry if I'm going to sound a little muffled, to get a mask on. I'm going to start off with a little white, where I want my light to be coming from, and I think I want it right over in there. Now I want some pink. Where's my purple? Oh, great. A little different than the purple. Purple usually gets a little dark. I like the grape. And then some deep blue. Missed a little bit over that white spot. And I want a little light blue right through here. Now I'm going to crumple up the newspaper. I wanted just a nice, fun pattern of colors through here. And then I'm going to do something else to it. Now, I'm going to make this look like the sky is kind of swirling through here. So let's just drag my finger through here. Very lightly. Yeah, very lightly. My mask went into my mouth. Now all the colors in the sky look like they kind of swirl together. Now, start filling in this area up here, make it a little darker. And for that, I'm going to use my navy blue. Down here a little bit, and then black in the corner. Now again, I'm going to lightly drag my finger through here. go. And now we need stars in the sky. So, just spray a little bit, flick off the excess, and just give little light flicks over the areas that I want stars. Alright, now for the mountain. I got a little thing to put some paint into, so I want the base color of the mountain to not be too dark. So I'm going to put the black in there. I'm going to add a little bit of this light blue. And to apply it, to grab a fresh sponge here. Tear off a nice little chunk. Let's get a little bit of paint on there. And I want it to be right here, so just get a basic idea of where it's going to be. So that's kind of where I want it. So I'm going to take most of this paint off on the edge of my table here, and then begin to bring this gray color that I just made down further into the horizon. Right. Use my finger a little bit here and kind of smooth it out. Make that color blend a little more before I start applying my snow. Alright, so we got a basic mountain shape there. Now we can start adding snow. And my favorite thing to do, instead of just using your palette knife to scratch out highlights and everything, I like to use my palette knife to apply paint. So, on this little piece over here, I'm going to get some white. Some dark blue. And I'm gonna mix them right here until I get the perfect shade color that I want. To start off with. I think I got it. So first, I'm going to do the dark side. I'm just very lightly touching as I bring the paint down. And it's almost like it just puts in the highlights and lowlights and everything for you. Especially when you get your paint to kind of have a marbled look to it when you mix it. And remember, if you mess up, I mean, you can always, if you go too high with your blue, you can always take it back down with your highlight. So, let's start with the whites now. And I'm going to touch here and there up on the cap. I don't want to give it too much up there right now. There we go. And basically the same that I was doing with the other side. Just touching lightly. And coming down as I'm bringing it out at the same time. So, I'll bring it down a little bit, I come back up, and come down. And then I can come back, and then I can spread these guys back down here to make the snow go a little bit farther down. And you want it to kind of break up as you pull it down. And it gives a more realistic effect. And I can take some lighter blue, and there's a little peak right here, and then my white. And some light blue here. Just make it a little bit more of a highlight here. There we are. And I'm going to take some light blue that I'm mixing up over here. And kind of get around the tops over here. Just as it starts to peek over. with this guy. Alright, now we're going to make a little misty fog right through there. For that, get a torn piece of poster board. It's all jagged edges here. It's going to make for nice little streamy clouds here. So I'm going to hold it against my painting just very lightly, and I'm going to spray right across here. Alright. Now that we got the clouds in there, I'm just going to go in there with just my hand now that this paint's all wet again. Actually, I want to bring down some more blue here. Probably a little black. Now, there we go. Now, with just my hand, I'm going to start just drawing them in. Just basic little shapes of what I want at first. And you want to do there we go. Alright. And you don't want to do them too detailed, because we're going to put another layer of them before our foreground. Right now, we're going to fog it back over. Now that we got that nice little layer of fog there, we want this to be water, so we're going to hold off on that for a second. Now, I want these to be a little more detailed, so I'm going to take my newspaper, and draw with it. Oop. And peel it away as I go. Alright, now I'm going to clean up these tops. So, just very lightly going over. Smoothing them out at the bottom. Alright. Now we pour water in here. Now, bushes and trees. So I'm going to take that same dish that we used for black last time. Give it a lot. And I can just take that same sponge. Alright. So, I'm going to start on this side. And just start dabbing. Keeping it darker towards the outside and bringing it lighter towards the inside. Like the bushes aren't as thick. Just lighter dabs. And that's all shadowing in the water. Alright, now for this side. Let's see, I think I want like a pine. Like that. And I'll do another one. So what you want to do is kind of get almost a sharp edge with some black on it. Need more black. More paint. And then just make like a line. And start at the top and work your way down and side to side, just how you see the branches of a pine tree. And one more right here. Okay. Now some little distant stuff. Now, some bushes down close to the water. in the shadow here. Get some more blue hue in there. There we are. Now, time to do scratching some details here. So take the edge of my palette knife and scrape up. Get some clear in there. And kind of vary your pressure as you go, so as not to make just a big old straight funky edge of your tree. Distant stuff in the background. Now I'm going to highlight all of our bushes here. Right here, take a meadow green and my navy blue. And yellow. Take a new piece of sponge, kind of tear out a cool, funky, jagged edge, frizzy shape on it. Get some green, and a little bit of that yellow. I like to test it out on the side first. So if it's too much paint, just dab it all off, and it's still going to be dark, so you can just add a little bit of highlight color to get the right color. And now I want to do this tree over on the right. Alright. So now I got the color on there. Now without any more green, I'm just going to do the highlight color, the yellow. I'm going to come back over where the light's going to hit. And then I'm not going to do anything else with it. I'm using the same that I just highlighted that with. I'm just going to tamp it a little bit harder, hit these bushes right here. Take my white again. I don't want this tree to be in the background. So, I'm going to bend this a little bit. Alright. And my white kind of blew out here a little bit, but I can take the sponge and just lightly brush it through. There. It gives it a nice little misty effect. And then we can go lightly back over it with the white. Let's clear my cap there. There. Clear cap. Let's try this again. There. Alright, so now that's in the background. Take my black in. And create my foreground bushes. Right here. Right. A little darker in here. Come back over here with some highlight color. Then if you want, you can hit some highlight colors from your bushes into the water here where you have your shadow. And then with a clean piece of the sponge you can wipe it down and across, and it will give you the illusion that your bushes are reflecting in the water. Now, to finish this little spot here in the front, where we're going to have a little waterfall in the middle. So let's go to the waterfall now and find out where that guy is hiding at. Alright. Got a little bit of white here. Maybe a little bit more. Got a little too dry. I don't like my when I use the paint for my waterfalls, I don't like it to be too runny, fresh out of the can. I like it to set for just a little bit. Perfect little mix of blue and white here. Alright. Now, I want it to come from right here. Looks like I didn't have enough paint on my edge. There we are. Cool. You can very lightly go over it in some of the areas, and you can bring that paint down. You have to make sure that the paint that you're laying it on is dry already, or else it won't get that nice smear. It'll just mud together. Now that we have the waterfall there, I think I want to put one back here. Just a little one. About right there. And just like that. A little more blue to it. The advantage of using the very little paint that's almost dry that you're using to make your waterfalls on top of the already completely dry paint, like I can touch it, I'm not going to damage it, is that it will smear and go a long way, kind of like an oil paint will. And you can make your water and everything look that much more realistic. Same goes when you're making your clouds. You can put a little dab on your sponge, swirl it around to get your base color, and then go in with your highlight color. I'll show that again in another video. Alright, now for the bushes over here. I'm going to take some dark blue on a different piece of sponge that I was using for my other bushes, and use some of that white that I had. Alright. Scratch in a few little details here. Okay. Put on some clear. Let me get a little rock right here. Some little sticks and twigs coming out. And some little rocks down here. And water. Little rocks out here under these bushes. And right here in the background. Little rocks where our bushes meet the reflection. I don't like to really spray on the foam, so I'm going to take that white and use my finger here and just kind of dab it on. And the same for this one over here. Clean end of your sponge. You can kind of swirl it around a little bit, fluff it up. Alright. This needs a little more highlight. Cool. And now, the same little piece that I used to make my waterfall. Do some water lines. And now, just have to sign it. Except for this looks a little bare over here. Ah, yes. Color. It's nice. All right. I'll just sign my name here. Robert Stevens, 2014. thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll try to put some more videos out there at some point. I'm not sure when. But if you've got me on Facebook, you'll see them.